Alright, y'all. I'm Michael Dink from Mike's Automotive and Diesel, Monroeville, Alabama. We are doing the DCR fuel pump conversion kit on this 2015 F350 here. 310,000 miles. Our factory pump's giving out. She's losing rail pressure. A good bit of rail pressure. Matter of fact, it was under high load demands. It was dropping down in the 2,000, 3,000 PSI range, needing 28,000. So called it before it went out. We had the bypass kit installed, so we took it off, did away with it. We had that on there beforehand, so that's how the equation now. You put this on there, you won't have to have the bypass kit anymore. But we're going to show you how simple of an install this is. If you're mechanically minded, it's a little bit, you could probably handle this. If not, your regular power stroke mechanic ought to be able to handle it no problem, because there's not much more to it than putting a factory pump back on. Adapter plate here is really the only difference to mounting the pump in the truck. These lines basically fit just like factory lines. This system here of lines fits like a factory line. I mean, it's really quite simple. We're going to show you a few steps that you don't normally do in a regular install on the CP4. We're going to show you all those, and we'll get this thing rolling. All right, this is about one of the trickiest parts of the whole job. You got to get these studs in the back. Shine your light right here. Shine your camera down here. See those studs? These studs in the back, the top two have to come out. All right, these two bolts in the front cover here have got to come out, and they're a little tricky to get to. I'll show you how to get those out. This is the socket combination I use here. A wobbler socket extension and a shallow 15 works really well. Basically, we're taking these studs out. They go all the way through from the front cover to the back. Gonna be removing those. They're pretty daggum tight. There they go. And once you get it loose, it's still a wiggling trick to get it out of there. That kind of jiggle and jangle and wiggle, and just don't give up. And let me fix it all I do. Just like it. All right, there's one. See how it's made. All right, that's one. Took a few different tries to get these out the first time we did it. Instructions assured you they would come out, and I was kind of doubting it, but they do come out. Just got to hold your mouth right, like the old timers say. There's number two. Gotta keep jiggling and turning, and there's number two. The bottom one stays intact. Bottom stud stays intact. Now you want to clean this area, this front area here off. Clean it off real good, get all the rust off of it, corrosion, crud. That's where your adapter plate's gonna bolt to, and you want it to sit square. So let's get that put on. All right, we're gonna bolt our adapter plate on. This is not red Loctite, this is assembly lube, so I don't criticize it. Got red Loctite on the bolt threads. I want a little greaser assembly lube on the chamfer part here. So put those in. They want a little Loctite on the short threads of your studs. Go ahead and put those in hand tight on your adapter plate. Drop one on. Like so. Go up here and bolt these in to our bolt holes and torque to 25 foot-pounds. And we'll be ready to put the DCR in. Put the lines on. This is kind of tricky because getting these bolts started is a little on the finicky side, but they will start. Caught the blues yesterday getting the one to start. Really not a lot of room in there to get your hands, and kind of doing it blindfolded. It's about my butt up here. These things aggravating as all get out. Reason why they're hard to get started because they actually are machined from the other side. They're not supposed to thread in from the back side, so. Alright, that just started. That started. Let's get our ratchet wheel on these dudes up, torque them. Stainless bolts. Get in there. There's your adapter plate in stock, and you get a close up on that.
Down on that.
Pretty simple. So easy a caveman could do it. Alright, we're gonna drop the pump in now. Lube this O-ring up really good. I use that AM's oil assembly lube. It's super slick stuff. When you put the pump in, you want to fully seat it by hand. Don't use the studs to pull it up. They spoke highly of that in the instructions. You can leave this one line intact. You just got to kind of finagle around it. The one that goes from head to head. Just kind of roll with the pump in. Let's see here. Get this line behind, just like that. And then there she goes. You want to seat her just like that. Here's seat. Then you're going to use your factory stud you took out of your CP4. Hold this pump on. You torque to 18 foot-pounds, just like the factory CP4. So nothing much different here than just changing out a factory CP4. Quite easy installation if you've installed a CP4 before. Not much different. If this thing is reliable as they say it's going to be, then it's going to be a game changer for the power stroke world. No more CP4 anxiety, because it does exist. For sure. This bottom one's kind of tricky. You got a groove in the pump. Just kind of just follow that groove with the nut, and it'll lead you to the stud, like so. All right, we're gonna pour these 18 foot-pounds. Find our 13mm. Get our trusty snap-on torque wrench up here. Like so. All right, then you want to get the plug your connector up here. She won't run too well without this. Let's see here. Wham bam. Alright. You want to install your shortest line from here to here first. Unscrew our cap. Grab our short line. Route it up under your coolant line there. Maybe not, maybe it goes other side of the coolant line. Let's see here. Get our return line out of the way. Gotta get a little slack at your harness. Alright. There she goes, just like so. Alright, so you want to go ahead, install this line, and you want to torque this end to 26 foot-pounds, because once you get your other line on, you can't really get to it. We learned that lesson the hard way. So, now, we got these old fancy socket wrenches here for lines, but it won't fit in here with the turbo in place. So as far as torquing these, we just kind of go by feel. We do torque the ones on this end, because of course we can't get to them with the socket. But you torque this line first at the pump. You don't have to torque it at the rail just yet, but you want to torque it at the pump because your other line's going to interfere with getting your wrench in there. Same thing, we'll feed this up onto your coolant line. Bait those jokers to get in. We on the other end here. Alright, can you get a picture of them lines there? See how well they line up with all the original bracketry. Nice fit on the S&S's part. So we'll snug those down, put them in their brackets, and be back in a minute. Alright, show them how good them lines line up. That fit them is spot on. This bracket here is a bracket that comes in your kit. They built this, replaces your factory 4 brackets. You can throw it away, you won't need it anymore. They built their own bracket and it fits like a dream. You will reuse that one fuel line there that goes all the way across to this head and that head, so don't take it off in your taking down process. But that's it. We're gonna get the oil filler neck back in and the low pressure fuel lines routed, and we'll show you how all that fits. Put you some good lube on these O-rings now, because they're a little tighter than the factory O-rings. They're a little, got to kind of work them in there. You got an early 11 through 14. You got your 2 ports here for your sensors. If you got a 15 or newer, they sell you a block off plug here. So it'll work for any model, 11 through, I think, 19. Then you want to screw your adapter in for your single sensor on your 15 model, which is what we have. Basically, snug all that down, and that's where this bolt in that kit goes. So you wonder where that bolt goes, like we did yesterday, this is where it goes. Worm it in there. Turn line away. Give her a little jiggle till she seats, and that's that. And then basically from here, it's just a regular old 6.7 again. From here on out, put it back together. Just about a Ford service manual. Gotta snug her up. Basically, gonna hook your return line, backside of the rail. Had to get a razor blade and get that off. All right, this is gonna hook back up to the rear rail back here. A little bit of a snug fit, and we're actually replacing this CCV canister on this truck. That's why it's off. That'd be your choice of whether you want to take it off or not, but it does not hurt to get it out of the way and give you a little extra room. Because it's due for a canister. All right, then this lines back up. We've only got 1 bolt here now versus 2, but it lines back up spot on. It'll be the 8mm bolt here. It's kind of a hard thing to do when you trying to stay out the camera lens. There it goes. All right, that's that. We had our bypass kit, so this line turned the wrong way, so we gotta spin her around. Hook your return line back up like it was before you had a bypass kit. And rob our sensor out of our old fuel line, supply line. And that's really it. Snug our bolt down, and then it'll be, we gotta torque the pump gear, put the pump gear and torque it. We'll show you that. And we'll do some real world driving in this thing, show y'all what it'll do. We'll look at some numbers. Alright, the pump gear, of course, this was keyed. The new pump is not keyed. It does not have to be timed. We did put it in time when we took it out. Bottom, two marks facing down, single gear on the cam facing up. We're gonna put it back where we got it from, even though it doesn't matter anymore. Just because I'm funny like that. Pump nut, torques at 60 foot-pounds. And I usually reach down and hold the crankshaft pulley with my hand, because right when you get to about 48 foot-pounds, it'll start rotating the motor. So just holding the crank with your hand, you can get the extra foot-pounds you need. Let me grab a torque wrench and I'll be right back. How old fuel system? That's 2 days worth of work.
It's a lot.
Alright, we set for 60 PSI. Alright, motor just turned and we're at 48 foot-pounds. Reach down and grab the crankshaft, pull it with your hand, just give it a little bit of resistance. And so I got 55 out of that time, almost. That little tit sticking out that front cover there gets in the way.
Yes.
That should be the last pull here. There we go. Now go back as that is. Alright. At this point, before we put our lower intake, upper intake back on, we're gonna cycle the key. We got a filter just kind of sitting over here. Ain't got the fuel bowl back on yet because we gotta put the crankcase vent back in. We're gonna cycle the key, check for low pressure fuel leaks. Everything's good. We're gonna crank it up with the upper and lower intakes off, and yes, you can do that. Make sure you don't have anything rags down your intake ports at this point because it'll suck them in there. We're gonna crank it up, look for high pressure fuel leaks, low pressure leaks. Everything's good. We'll finish reassembling it. That'll just save you the trouble if you get it all back together. You got a leak. Well, guess what? You got to pull the upper and lower intakes back off. So we do this as a precautionary measure. You do things your way, we do them our way. Well, this makes sense to us, so we're gonna do it. All right, go hit it. Cycle the key. We'll check for low pressure leaks. Everything looks good so far. One more time. See if the filter just jumped. I think all the air just got out of it. All right, hit it. At this point, we'll put the upper and lower intakes on and go do a test drive and see what this thing will do. All right, we at cruising speed. See what rail pressure looks like, and it's exceptional compared to what we had before. We was barely keeping 6,000 pulling this hill. The old CP4 was just about to give out. The thing about it, we had no check engine light, no rail pressure too low codes, nothing. It was just falling on its face. 70 pounds of supply pressure. The pump was just giving out, but we're keeping 28,000 here. You can see right there. 29, no problem. So we got this baby fixed. DCR doing its job.